on putting your sled away for the summer and getting ready and geared up for the winter. So let's go.
So I can start off with a couple tips on how to put your sled away good for the summer, so that you can keep it maintenance free for the summer. You don't have to take it out and start it and all that stuff to keep your gas flowing. So what you do is you empty your gas from all your lines. So really what you do is you shut off your valve, fuel valve, and you just run it until it has no fuel left. It's probably not the best if you have a two-stroke, because then you get lots of oil in there and it heats up. So you don't have to do it, but on four-stroke it's probably recommended. So you can do that. So then over time, as gas gets old, it crystallizes, especially if there's not very much of it, then it evaporates, crystallizes, and then that's not good for your injectors and your carburetor, that clogs it up. So then you empty your gas from your lines. Second of all, store your sled in a dry place. Probably should do it up high if you have the space available. It's a lot better. It's a lot drier, warmer up there, so it's not going to be as damaging to your sled as stuff can rot if it's too moisture. So don't store it outside under a pine tree, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
although it is good to empty your fuel lines and the fuel out of your carburetor, it also is a pretty good idea to take out your carbs if your sled is not EFI, if it is carbureted.
yeah.
But if you do take off your carbs, make sure you do put something in the hole, because it is bad, especially if you're in old shocks, like I said in the previous video. Yeah, make sure to check out our previous video. Put something in the hole, obviously, so mice and nests of mice can't get in there and wreck your engine.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is, when you take off your belt, do take off your belt. That's another good thing. You don't have to do it, but it's a good thing to do. Also, you can put grease on your primary and secondary clutch, but do make sure you wipe it off before you go sledding, because you will not go anywhere.
No, exactly. Your belt slip, you won't go anywhere. Just, you know.
Yeah.
Another tip I just thought of: make sure you don't store your sled on just the ground. Like if you have ski skins on your skis, they should be fine. But at your track, try to keep it off the ground, so that it doesn't. Let's say something happens or it seizes, that it doesn't seize in that one spot. Or let's say whatever. Like I'm just saying, keep it off the ground. It's just a good idea that, so again, it doesn't rot if it's wet or anything. Just keep stuff so that it doesn't. Yeah.
Another good thing is to loosen your track. So yeah, just untighten these bolts and your track will eventually loosen. After the summer, obviously you tighten it again. Your manual should have specifications on how much to tighten it. Your skis, if they are steel, probably try and keep them off the ground so they don't rust. Before you put it away for the summer, do repaint them and grease your track suspension and everything in there. Wherever there's grease nipples.
You should have grease nipples out there somewhere. And same with the suspension. If you have more of an advanced, like if you have a really old sled and it doesn't have grease nipples, then you probably shouldn't worry about it. But newer sleds should have them, like grease nipples, in behind the steering column and all that stuff. Just make sure. And another thing, clean your spark plugs before summer. Clean that out. Make sure you don't get any dust in there. And if you do have your spark plugs out during the summer, because whatever reason you want to do, put a rag or something in the holes, so nothing can get in there. Same with your carburetor. So no dust or debris can get in there, because that's not good for your engine. And just your regular maintenance that keeps your sled up and running coming to the wintertime. So that's what we're going to do next. And we're going to give you some more tips on what to do, how to get your sled ready for the wintertime, and so it'll be ready to take off.
So just another thing for the summer, putting away for the summer, if you do have an old shock, you can put your sled in an old shock. Do not put a cover on it, because mice love to get under covers. And they piss all over it, and they poop all over it. Honestly,
It's true, man.
And you find a wreck, you get a for snowmobile next time you open the thing. And it's
Well,
awesome.
you can spend an hour and wipe it all off.
Yeah, it's a really
Hey,
shitty
that's up
feeling.
to you, man. Like,
Okay, so the winter part.
yeah.
Make sure your engine is in perfect working order. Make sure your spark plugs are fine, all your seals are fine, like crankcase seals, the oil's leaking.
Make sure your compression. Always test your compression before you take it out for the first run in the winter.
Yeah.
Test your compression, that'll tell you everything about your engine. If you don't have compression, good compression, means there's something wrong. Don't run your engine. If you have low compression, that could wreck a lot of things and it'll just make matters worse. Don't run your engine if you have low compression. Get it checked out and get it fixed.
It could be a little piston ring, but it could be leading to something very big if you
make it bigger.
Yeah. Another thing, tighten your track, because if you loosen it and you go with a loosened track, it's not good for it. So tighten it, obviously.
Yeah. And put your gas back in your lines.
Yep.
It'll
probably take a little bit to get it back in the lines, a couple pulls. Not a couple, probably like 10.
Depends if you got EFI or not, like pumps it in itself or not. Yeah, so wait to grease off your clutch again. Make sure your spark plugs are tight. Make sure you have strong spark. Make sure your carburetor is set right, because over time, like sometimes the screw loosens in your carburetor, then you get too rich of a mixture or too lean. Always make sure it's not too lean, especially because sometimes that happens, it loosens or whatever, you do something and you forget about it. And then in the winter time, you start up your sled, oh yeah, it runs good, you pin it, you just go out in the fields and boom, your engine's done.
Yeah.
Always make sure it's not lean, because that, you don't expect it until it happens.
Yeah.
So
And also make sure all your parts are of top quality, such as your belt, make sure it's good, in good condition. Your brake pads, make sure they're good. If you do have hydraulic brakes, do make sure, or whatever, you always do, but make sure that's full of brake fluid. And
yeah. Another thing, is stressing on the belt point, make sure you have a good belt. If you're really if you're the type of person that goes on long trips and stuff, always have a spare belt with you, because what can happen, especially if you're by yourself, or even with another person, your belt breaks, and you're like, okay, I don't have another belt, or the other guy doesn't have another belt either, so I'm gonna have to leave my sled here, go home, pick it up somehow. So you leave your sled out there, someone comes along, sees your sled, hollers, it takes off, like they have a spare belt or something, and they take off, you know, so they have a free sled. That's just the key to your sled, the belt. So always make sure you have a spare belt, or make sure you have a brand new belt if you don't have a spare one. So just keep an eye on that. It's just
So before you go sledding and have a very fun time, make sure your engine runs good. Put it up on a stand, start it up, pin it. Not all the way, of course, because it's not good for the track. Then try your brakes, make sure your engine's running perfect, and get geared up perfectly for winter. All your right clothes and everything. Because you don't want to be freezing out there, especially if you're
sled
on
breaks
trips.
down.
Yeah,
You're stuck out there.
Yeah.
So one more thing, especially on the very first time of starting, before the winter, don't right away as soon as your sled start pin it, especially if it's cold out. That can do a lot of damage to your engine. If your engine is still cold, your oil will stick, and then you pin it, it's not good for your engine. Don't do it. And that's more or less on the very first start. Like even on other cold days, if you started already before, still don't pin it till you know for sure it's warmed up. Should have that on the warning somewhere. So I think that's about it. And guys might have more ideas. Your own ways to store them. Just make sure your sled is not in the elements where it will get damaged, unless you don't care about your sled. And just stuff like that.
And also, if you really want comments, like if you want to comment down below, or you can send an email to snowsledders2@gmail.com. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on our next video.
Subscribe, and please give us ideas for more videos. We're not running out, but we just want to know what you guys want to know. So just give us some ideas.
Yeah.
We'll try to make a video out of them. So,
see you guys later.
Ciao!